Hello, and welcome to Ridgeview Community Schools MLTI Parent Information Presentation. Little overview of what we're going to be covering during this presentation. We're going to talk a little bit about some of MLTI's history. We're going to take a look at what the laptops look like this year. We are going to talk a little bit about the software and digital media that are available for students. New this year, we have managed Apple IDs as well as Google accounts that have been assigned to students. We're going to go over what some of the expectations are for utilizing this MLTI machine, talk about the laptop protection and damage, parent roles and responsibilities, and then maybe a few frequently asked questions. So, why MLTI? The Maine Learning Technology Initiative gives professional development and these 21st century learning tools to public schools throughout Maine. It started with 7th and 8th grade. We still have that. Other schools go different grade levels. The impact has been amazing. Maine was not only the first statewide one-to-one learning program, it's still the country's largest one-to-one learning program. We were the first state in the country to seize this and run with it, and it's been amazing. MLTI has 5 goals: equity of access so that all 7th and 8th grade students have equitable access to technology, integrating with Maine's learning results, sustainability. We have a sustainable program, so we always have up-to-date technology and professional development to go along with that, and teacher preparation. It also helps support economic development within some of our poorer schools and districts. It's not about the technology, though. It's about the teaching and the learning that we do with the technology. Like we said, it gives that equitable access. Every kid has the same tool in their hand. It gives them the chance to have that just-in-time learning so that if something new comes up, bam, we're on it, we're learning about it. That access to information is constantly at your fingertips. These computers provide tools for learning and creative expression. They're really the future of education right now. This year, we have brand new MacBook Air laptops through the Refresh program, and we actually have a lot more control over the management of these laptops this year than we have in the past. We can personalize software updates and apps and books depending on what individual users and classrooms need to support their learning. We're also planning on keeping the same laptop assigned to a student throughout 7th and 8th grade. So the laptop that your child receives this year as their assigned laptop, provided there are no damages or repairs that need to be made, will be the laptop they use for the next 2 years. We're highly recommending protective cases this year. It helps avoid some damages and dings around the case and tends to keep the laptops looking new longer. We will hopefully be offering some protective cases for sale through the school if you desire, so we'll keep you posted on that as we figure that out. This is what the new MacBook Airs look like. They're the 11-inch MacBooks. They're nice and lightweight. They have 2 USB ports, one on each side, the MagSafe power adapter. MagSafe actually was designed in response to some of our MLTI feedback from older laptops. We were hearing that power cords were getting tripped over or pulled on, and it was pulling the whole machine. So now the MagSafe adapter will actually break loose if something happens to the cord or to the laptop, and it doesn't hurt anything when it breaks loose. It's a beautiful, beautiful feature. It has a headphone jack and some dual mics. It's really good for picking up sound and noise filtering out in case kids need to do recording projects. It's a beautiful, full-featured laptop, wonderful tool to use. Some of the software that children will be receiving on their laptops is going to be accessible through something called the self-service portal. We will have software programs, ebooks, updates. They'll all be available through self-service. The other way we're going to be giving programs that kids need is by directly pushing them right out to laptops so they don't have to worry about it. It'll just be there. So new this year also, we are doing managed Apple IDs for students. Unlike personal Apple IDs, managed Apple IDs are owned and controlled by the school. They are designed to meet the needs of our educational institution. We can reset passwords, there are limits on purchasing and how you communicate, and it's going to allow students to be able to download updates and back up their work to iCloud so that if something does happen to their device, they can still have all of their work and all of their material accessible from another machine. Students have also been assigned a school-based Google account. It uses Google Apps for Education. It allows students to back up their work and documents with Google Drive, use programs like Google Docs, Sheets, and Google Classroom for assignments and collaboration. Google Apps for Education is ad-free, it's very secure, they are in compliance with both FERPA and COPPA, so we don't have to worry about kids getting into things that they shouldn't be when we're trying to use things for educational purposes. Between the Apple IDs and the Google accounts, it should allow students to access their work from most devices if those accounts are set up and kept synced. On the subject of internet safety, we actually partner with Common Sense Media, which is a nonprofit organization. We use a digital citizenship curriculum that they've provided to talk about appropriate behavior online, how to keep yourself safe, how to keep others safe, all that good stuff. They also offer reviews of movies and games and other digital media in case you have a question about something, about whether or not your student should be looking at, seeing, using. Go on commonsensemedia.org, check it out, it's a wonderful resource. Internet safety. Number 1, be a good digital citizen. We talk about this all the time here at school. We make sure we're monitoring for cyberbullying. We discourage any kind of pirating activity and talk about what that looks like when you download something you do not have the copyright for. It's pirating. It's illegal. We really, really are trying to teach folks what is right and what is wrong about doing that so that there are no repercussions. Here at school, we have internet filters. What about home? The laptop itself doesn't have a filter on it. What you might want to do is look at an internet filter for your home to see if there are any issues with getting to websites that you don't want your children to be accessing. Make sure you're always monitoring the home internet use. That laptop being used in a public area is really, really important to keep track of what's going on. Same thing with monitoring social media. Make sure you have passwords and logins. Keep track of what your kids are doing on social media. Very, very important because that's how we teach those good social media habits. As a parent, you have a right to create a login account on your child's laptop. They are the administrators of their laptop, so if you would like a parent account, you and your child needs to sit down together, go into your system preferences, check out the users and groups, and add a new account. And you can create your own admin password so you have access to that. With that account, you can set up parental controls, and it can actually limit what websites the laptop will go to. It will limit what access to applications your child has, and it can even limit the times the laptop can be turned on and off if it's becoming a problem. Say staying up too late at night, using it instead of doing homework, that sort of thing. If anyone has any questions about that or wants some help setting that up, let me know, give me a call or an email. I would be glad to set a time and sit down and help you get that set up. Some of our guidelines and expectations. There's a handout that should have come home with the complete rules and guidelines listed on it. These are just a few of those more important ones about how to take care of the laptops so that we don't have any of those damages or breakages that we're worried about. First and foremost, this is an educational tool, should be being used for educational purposes. There is no expectation of privacy. We have already told students this. They are required to share their password or passphrase with their teacher. We've also asked that they share it with their parent or guardian so that it's transparent. There's no privacy with this. It's expected that everything they do with it, we need to be able to see. Staff is probably going to be doing spot checks, checking for violations of acceptable use policy or damages periodically just to kind of keep track of things. The student is responsible for this laptop. Please, please, please make sure that they are only using the laptop assigned to them and not sharing passwords with friends other than the staff, parent, guardian, that sort of thing. The other piece that you want to make sure is that come to class with the laptop charged. If you've taken it home, used it the night before, make sure it charges overnight. Your teachers are expecting you to have it ready to go. Few more guidelines. When you're not using it, either keep it in the carrying case that was provided or in the classroom cabinet, or if you're charging it at home, make sure it's on a flat surface, preferably up above where small children or pets are going to get to it. Make sure it's not on a kitchen table near food or drink. That's where a lot of our damages are happening. You can see further down the page. Most damage is happening due to food or liquid, not covered under warranty. Let's be careful with that. Don't leave it unattended. If that laptop goes missing, you are responsible for the replacement costs. Please, please, please take care of it. Treat it kind of like a pet is an analogy we've been telling kids. Don't leave the laptops in hot or cold places. If you wouldn't leave your dog there, don't leave the laptop there. And again, make sure you're using it in a common area to make sure that social media and other media use are being monitored. Protection for these laptops. Why do we ask you to pay the damage protection fee? Every year we have damages and repairs that exceed the amount that each person pays for their child to take the laptop home. We have some of the cost right here on the page. Power adapters, we see those get broken, chewed, the wires get frayed because they're closed indoors. Those cost almost $80 to replace. Please be careful with those. Make sure they're put up, they're not on the floor, they're not getting walked on. To replace an entire laptop that's beyond repair, $700 is the cost for that. Let's be really careful and make sure we don't have to do a lot of these repairs. Maybe the damage protection fee will be able to go down in years ahead if we can keep the damages down in this year. Please report any damages or issues to me as soon as possible. We'll see what we can do. We'll get things fixed. I just need to know about it. If I don't know about it, I can't help fix it. If there are damages that require repairs beyond like the normal wear, tear, oh, I dinged the edge of it, we will be sending a letter home talking about what the damage was and what the repairs will cost, just so that you're aware of it and can start encouraging your student to be more careful with the laptop. Any repairs that cost more than $300 due to damage or neglect will result in a loss of the take-home privileges. Haven't got a time frame on that. That's going to be on a case-by-case basis. Students who deliberately damage or abuse the laptop will lose those take-home privileges as well, and that would be a meeting with the administrator and teacher to talk about where to go from there. If we see a lot of these misuses, it may cause a student to have that laptop removed from them and be issued an older machine just to use during school. Any other questions with that? Again, please contact me, let me know. We'll see what we can do to talk about it. Your role as a parent. Help your child follow the rules and expectations. They're pretty clear, a lot of it's common sense. Make sure we're following those. Monitor use of social media and internet sites. Check in and be part of that social life so that you know you're keeping your child safe. And again, consider setting up some internet filters or parental controls for your home network if you have concerns about what your student might be doing. And that is it for our presentation. If you have any questions beyond what we've covered in this presentation, please, 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 again, feel free to email or call me and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Now, if you would take a look at the link for the survey, go ahead and complete that survey. Once that's turned in and your paperwork and payment have been received from the office, your child will be all set to take their laptop home. Thank you for listening and take care.